And morning, or is it afternoon? I don't know. It's probably still morning in my head because I only got up about an hour ago. So I were up at 5 o'clock this morning, but then went back to bed and didn't get up till nearly 1 o'clock. But this is a bit of a test, really. I know we don't normally do a preview show. We did try it a few times, but this is just a little bit of a test to see if, when Andy goes, I'm capable of being able to host and do the hangout and get all the people together. So we'll do a preview of this week. And as usual, I've got with me Paul Webster, and my co-host who's going to be hosting with me this week. And, well, forever, as I hope, anyway. Afternoon, Paul. How are you doing, mate?
It's definitely afternoon, mate, because I went for a walk this morning. It was a beautiful morning to go for a walk on. Very pleasant, not windy, not cold, just nice. And distinct lack of 3D people made it even better.
Yeah, well, this afternoon I'll probably take my dog out on my scooter for a bit of a wander, because it does look like it's a nice day today. So is it cold or up your end, or is it just pleasant, nice?
No, it's just right. It's just right for me. I'd say it's about 9 degrees, something like that. 10 degrees. It's not cold. Not
cool. Excellent. Well, anyway, we're going to talk about what we've got coming up this week. And on Monday, we're going to have a very, very interesting show. We've got Marie Carey, a.k.a. Annie Logical, coming on to address some of the issues that were raised in Raconteurs News 218 with Lee Garrett. It seems that what do you make of this whole thing, Paul? I mean, watching from a distance, we're not even arbitrators. We're just people who are giving people a platform to put their point of view across. What have you made of the whole thing?
Well, after listening to it, I mean, it's obviously, we haven't just had people on here who spoke about 5G. You've had Barry Trower on who was speaking about frequencies a long time ago. There's definitely something not right about this, and there's people who have picked up on this who know there's something not right with it. Now, whatever is going on in the back of this, because I've been friends with Anne for a while on Facebook, Mark as well. They both post interesting articles about 5G, but now there's something that's come in between them two. As Anne said, she was getting right behind Mark's stuff, and then all of a sudden something has happened, and it seems to be about this denial about the 5G being live in Gateshead, which it isn't live in Gateshead according to Anne, which Mark and Lee definitely seem to think it is. I mean, I did notice that Lee said that he'd love to come on and have a debate with Anne, but we don't do things like that.
That's just not going to happen. We tried that once before. It just
doesn't work.
No,
it doesn't work at all. And
at this level, it might do if we had a full kit, so we could mute the mics and we've got a producer that we're doing all that sort of stuff. Yeah. We might be able to get somewhere, but having them both on at the same time is not going to happen.
I mean, so we could always have the Lee Garrett show running on a separate channel, I suppose, and he could listen to what we were talking about and then just talk for an hour on his own. But well, yeah, I understand the passion, and Lee's obviously new coming into this, and he's trying to cram as much information into his head and get as much information out to people, which is commendable. But I think sometimes you do tend to, when you're coming in hot, so to speak, and you're learning all this stuff, instead of landing, you skip a few times, and maybe you've got to come back round because you've missed a couple of things. That just comes with time. But you can't fault the guy's passion, and he certainly wants to help people and make an improvement. I mean, he's got family, he's got kids. So we want people to be able to challenge this stuff, because as we know full well, you can't make challenges on everything. No one man, one woman can. It's impossible. But there's more and more people doing it now, and it's things like this. This is why it's a great idea to get Anne on, because you can't just have one set of, you can't have one side of a story, and especially when there's claims being made from that side, you've got to give the right to reply. And she may make claims that people want to come back on later on down the line, but we've still got to get that balance, because if you're only taking one side of the story, then you've already, you know, you've cut one leg off the stool, haven't you? You're going to fall one way.
Ultimately, it's the 5G campaign that loses out on, in it. If there's divisions in it, you know, it's like every single campaign when they get divisions in. Do you think, because we were just saying just before we came on air about how mad it's just crazy, isn't it, at the moment? Do you think, what do you think it is? Do you think it's the 5G that's making people crazy? Is there something going on, or is it the chemtrails? Is it the crap that they're getting fed on TV? I mean, if you're just somebody who doesn't know about all this stuff and is just a normal 9 to 5 Monday old man and goes to work, 2 kids, wife, watches box, going to be confused by Brexit. He's going to be frightened that his job's going to go. You know, he's going to get told this and that, and you know, mortgage rates are going up. I think that Satan has said that he'll rise if we leave without a deal, a no deal Brexit. So it's all ridiculousness, isn't it?
It is, and I think you've got to, everything what you've just named, I think you've got to take a smattering of everything to put into this melting pot, because you know, even though we've already established that there is no agenda in this agenda, but things are being pushed and pressed, and it's coming from all different types of angles. You've got your Tommy Robinsons, you've got your other Pied Pipers, all coming from different angles, because you've got beliefs in loads of different areas now. So you've got groups that are being co-opted. I know the White Dragons, the Dragons came onto the scene. Loads of good people wanting to do good things, and then all of a sudden some people cause a little bit of a melee in between all them, and then there's fallouts left, right and centre, and people don't want to talk to each other. It's need to bring to thin. It's everybody from every walk of life that's going to fix this. It was posted about the fracking, you know, because of all the earthquakes that they're doing. I mean, they're saying that, well, a 4.0 doesn't really cause much. It's like bouncing a football onto the floor. That's the amount of tremor that you get. Well, bouncing a ball just creates like one vibration in one area. You're talking of a tremor that is moving things like that, not just a bounce. So that is being created. That is now being highlighted and stopped in courts, because they're regulating themselves. They're trying to put that up from 4.0. They're trying to raise it. Now, that doesn't make things safer. It just means that they can carry on doing what they're doing. And we've had a win there, because people who are the people that you need, that you won't do things. So they'll go and they'll cement themselves into a pipe and chain themselves and padlock themselves. And people have got to then take time through health and safety to cut all that off. If people weren't doing that, they might have already gone through with all this, but they've been able to peg it back. And I've had people driving into work and saying, God, 3/4 an hour late today because those idiots at that fracking site, those idiots are trying to stop your water table being permanently poisoned because you won't go to that fracking site. Stop doing that. We need everybody, and these little bits of ego that is now flaring up, and they're starting to argue with each other. They're the things that have got to be put out. So whether we can fight fires with Analogical and Mark Steele and try and get these groups to stop arguing, because I always find there's a small point that's missing that they all keep. You know, it's very easy to start an argument and then they all skip over the answer because they're too busy trying to argue and get one up. And when we come back to the final answer, it's only a little thing. And I'm sure this has more than likely been blown up out of nothing. But again, putting two people onto the show with opposing ideas, it doesn't work for us. It doesn't make for good radio, and you don't get any information out just shouting and arguing. So, you know, Lee and Mark have had a good stint. They've been on a couple of times. They've been on Richie Allen's as well. So Analogical, she's been on Richie Allen. She even got Mark on there, apparently, according to Anne. So people have been working together, and now this has happened. So it's going to be interesting to get to the bottom of it, Jason.
It is, or at least try to get to the bottom of it. I just want to just say that we've got a few people in chat room. Hi to people in the chat room. I hope everything I hope we're coming through loud and clear, and you can hear us and everything. While we're without the Wizard of Wisbeach, who's leaving us. What about Tuesday? We've got a guest book for Tuesday, haven't we? I was trying to look through our messages to see if I could find out who it were, but I couldn't find it. So give us a heads up on that.
Yeah, we've got Tina Buckler, who's a former prison officer from HMP Bristol and has turned whistleblower on the amount of bullying and management bullying and institutionalised bullying that's going on within the prison service. But as we've had John Ledger on as well, it's not just the prison service, it's throughout the public sector. The NHS staff are now being bullied to all kinds of things. They're allowed to put masks on at the minute, but we've already got a Swedish company now in talks with the British companies to start putting microchips in people. So is that going to come into the public sector? I would say the public sector will be secondary, because they'll go for the private sector first, because somebody will promote that and, you know, maybe offer free McDonald's vouchers or something like that. That will jump at it. Especially, I mean, I think they've been offering free Christmas turkeys if you get your flu jab, things like that. So there's obviously people who are going to go into stuff like that. But Tina's going to come on and talk about what's been going on in the public sector of the prison service. That's going to be interesting because, you know, we don't hear a lot of the prison service in the mainstream news. It's probably the original Secret Service. Nobody hears much what goes on, and there's a lot of good people that work in there, and it's time that somebody can come out and maybe shed some light on what pressure people are being put on.
Well, that sounds fascinating. I remember it now. Now you mention it, I remember it. But since I only had an hour since I got up, and I was running around, and I've had to watch that Andy's promotional, his tutorial video to get hangouts on air a couple of times again this morning. So I didn't have really very much time. So yeah, it's very interesting. It's going to be interesting to speak to her regarding the prison service. It looks like it's going to be an interesting week. So we only said we were going to do about 10 or 15 minutes today before, as a bit of a preview. I've had a confirmation from Super Leeds in the chat room that it sounds okay, and we've got the owlets in there as well. That's a new one, an owlet. Excellent. We love our owlets around here in Sheffield. So I think that's just about it. We've got Marie Carey on Monday, aka Annie Logical, and Tina Buckley. She's a prison whistleblower, prison officer whistleblower. She's going to be joining us on Tuesday, so don't you miss out on that. Monday's certainly going to be busy, so get in the chat room early. The event's been set up already; it's already there, sat waiting for you. So we'll just get yourself in there early and get in the chat room. It's going to promises to be a real busy one as well. I do believe that Mark Steele's friends will be wanting to haunt the chat room and try to get a few points across. So we're probably going to have our work cut out trying to keep up with that. What do you reckon, Webb?
I reckon so. To keep up with what's going on in the chat room and keep up with the chat, one of us are going to have to monitor that somehow.
This is why we needed Andy.
but believe me, I'd rather do that than get both guests on. I'd much rather juggle with that lad.
Yes, so would I. Anyway, so Monday from 7 and Tuesday from 7 with me and Paul, we're going to be doing, it's going to be a great week. It's going to be Monday in particular, but they're both going to be very interesting. Monday might be a little bit chaotic, but you'll have to just bear with us with that. So it's going to be very interesting. So we shall see you on Monday, and well, don't miss us, whatever you do. See you on Monday.